Welcome back to Spotlight ETSU. Our next guest is Cara Harker, who is an associate professor in the Division of Theater and Dance in the Department of Communication, and specifically dance.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi,
Thanks
Carrie.
for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much for having me.
So you've been at ETSU since 2007?
That's right. Yeah, we actually went through
Same
orientation
time.
together. Do you
Right,
remember
like, that
orientation?
was a long, I feel like a very long time ago.
Feels like another life ago, yeah.
Indeed. And so you've been here and you have basically sort of like revamped and reconstructed our dance program. We had a small sort of like weird, what was it, a concentration or something before in dance?
Dance was originally housed in the Department of Kinesiology.
Right.
Judy Woodruff ran the dance program through kinesiology for I think maybe 25 years. And she was set to retire, and in her last year they moved from kinesiology to the Division of Theater. So now it's the Division of Theater and Dance. And
Which is kind of weird for dance to be in a Department of Communication, right? But you're attached to the theater division. So.
Yeah, and we communicate non-verbally.
Exactly.
We communicate with our bodies.
Do with the music. So it always seemed very intuitive to me that dance would be part of communication, but I imagine that for the majority of people, in the majority of programs, dance is not in a Department of Communication?
It bounces around a little bit.
Does it?
I think with a lot of programs, it originally started sort of with the phys ed, kinesiology, those kinds of programs,
Right.
and as
like
as
awareness
we,
of movement, really.
Yeah, and as we increased our awareness of dance as an art form, it really works best.
What in the world would
with
dance
the
ever have been considered if not an art form?
I don't know.
Do you know
I'm
what
not,
I mean?
Yeah, I'm not. When I came, as of course it's going to be in the Division of Theater and Dance. That makes sense to me. But yeah, the body and moving kinesiology, anatomy, these are both very important aspects of dance as well. So
Sure.
I can see the connection, definitely. But I'm really happy to be at home with the Division of Theater.
It makes a little more sense for you to be here.
Yeah.
So your job, so you have revised the curriculum, and so we've done a lot of things, and I know you added an aerial component to our dance program, which means like trapezes and things like this. So you have students, you're teaching our students on this campus to fly around as they dance with silks and trapezes. It's fascinating to watch. How do you learn how to do this? And isn't it terribly dangerous?
Well, as dangerous as any activity, really, in a way.
Okay. Really?
Because anything that you get yourself into,
Sure.
You decide you want to play baseball, you're running as fast as you can to first base, things can happen.
True.
I'll grant you, we are in the air.
So there's the whole falling thing that might happen.
There is that. And yes, I mean, you're right, it is dangerous, but you start off working low. I mean, you work low for ages and ages and ages until you have the confidence to get higher. And you would be surprised. I mean, your strength doubles because you're holding up your own body weight.
Yep.
So once you've mastered that, it's a question of navigating a bit higher. And
that's amazing.
Higher.
So that's, I mean, I've seen some aerial work that you guys have done. It is just like fascinating to me that happens. Yeah. So, and the dance concerts are really very beautiful. And so you choreograph. So not only do you teach dance technique, but you also, you also will choreograph your own shows. And that students are participating in, or dancing in, or performing in?
Performing in,
Performing
dancing
is the word
in.
I was looking for.
Yeah.
So when you choreograph, what exactly are you doing there?
Well, there are many, 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 many ways to make a dance. Sometimes it feels as though the dance just comes to mind. You can hear the piece of music and you can just see the dance unfold. That's when you're feeling really inspired.
You're kidding me. This happens? This is the thing that happens to people?
Well, and then you get into the studio and then you try to realize what it was that you imagined.
Right.
And then there's a back and forth between your imagination and the reality.
How close do they typically get?
Well, in my experience, they always exceed my expectations, because once you get with the students and they start working and then you really start collaborating, new ideas come up, obstacles will come up, that's just physically impossible.
Right, we can't do that.
Yeah, let me see, and so then you see that challenge and then something new comes out of that. So it's really collaborative with the students. So that's that's just, you hear a piece of music and you go, oh, I see that dance. I see the arc of the dance. I see the crescendo, the climax, the build. You can just sort of see it all in the music. Then there are other times where that doesn't happen at all. So you get into the studio and you start working with improvisational structures, and then you just spend time working.
So improvisational structures, like you're winging it.
You. Yeah. But not quite. So we'll come up with a structure. Like I'll say, okay, dancers, we can only maintain contact with the floor. We can only move in right angles. Your movement vocabulary is standing, walking, jumping, and skipping. Those are the only things you can do. And you have to stay low as you can, while you're doing all of those things.
And so the idea with that is you're trying to draw creativity out of constraint.
Yes.
Which is super awesome and
so
ironic.
You just work, and it's within those constraints that something new is going to come out of it. Yeah, and so you might work on a structure, 10 minutes, you might work an entire day.
Right.
And one thing interesting two things come out of it that you say, oh, I see that. I want to work on that.
I'm going to hold on to that one thing. And sometimes all you need is the one, right? You just need one
and then
really
you can
great
build a whole
idea.
dance. Yeah. So it really, I can't stress enough how collaborative it is, because you need to have a group of people who are so patient, who want to be there with you, and who want to go on this journey with you and say, yeah, I'm willing to try anything.
To just work this and be awkward, I imagine. Like when you haven't figured out what a dance is supposed to look like, it's sort of an awkward enterprise. You're apparently very good at choreographing.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen at least one of your dances. I was thinking maybe two that you've choreographed. Tallulah Dies. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But you've won awards for your choreography. Have you not? Yeah. It's okay. You can say so. It's fine.
Yeah, the show that we brought to the Cincinnati Fringe Festival, Tallulah Dies won the Producers Pick of the Fringe.
That dance had another name. Tallulah Dies was the sort of parenthetical title.
Yeah, so it has this ridiculously long name that I found funny. So I just kept it, but it's very silly. So the full title is Memoir of a Mythomaniac, the True Story of a Compulsive Liar.
Yes!
Or Tallulah Dies.
Or Tallulah Dies, which is just far fewer syllables.
Yeah. Well, I wanted a study of, I just had this character who was a compulsive liar in mind. So I started reading about what it is to be a compulsive liar. And the term that was used in this book was mythomaniac. And I really quite liked that. And I thought, I've got to figure out how I can get that into
lovely.
Yeah.
I saw that one and I enjoyed it because there was there's a story to it. It's not just dancing, right? And so
it's integrated with spoken word.
Right, which I loved. And I'm not, the dancing is lovely, but I love that there was a story to that. And the characters, I just wanted to hit her in the face, which made me so excited. I was like, I hate you, and I'm sort of supposed to hate you. And that's awesome. And that you managed to capture all of that, which is, far fewer spoken words than would be in a typical theatrical production.
Yeah.
But you get the sense of the character through all the dancing, whatever else. It's just like amazing. And so you took it to the Cincinnati Film Festival. No, Dance Festival.
Cincinnati Fringe Festival.
Fringe Festival. I knew there was an F in there.
Yeah.
And so you won something or other. Best of the Fringe.
It was the Producers Pick of the Fringe. The Fringe Festival is produced by the No Theater, and
so cool.
It was really cool. It was really fun.
And so you do, that one was also done on campus before you took it to the festival. And you guys do an annual dance concert, do you not?
We do.
And that one should be coming up here before too long, April?
Yes, it's April 10th through the 13th. The 13th, that's a Sunday, it's the matinee show at 2 o'clock.
And so what is it a theme? Is that the right way to talk about this?
Yeah, we're actually working with 3 suites of dances. So each suite has a different sort of feel to it. So the first suite, I'm really excited about this one. It's dance crazes, it's popular dance styles. I'm doing a retrospective.
Like the twist and things like that?
Yeah, so we're starting off with hip hop, and then we're moving into Vogue. And then we're going to do some personal favorites of mine, Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Yeah. Running Man. And we're going to take these popular dance steps, and it's going to go down to, we do the twist, and we'll finish with a swing.
Swing. I was waiting for the swing to come in there.
Yeah, we're kind of going back. And it was really fun because I was telling my students about the Roger Rabbit and Running Man, and that's in my wheelhouse.
They have no idea what these things referred to, because you and I are like, we're the same age, you and I, right? So. They
had heard of it. They knew, but I did need to teach them the Roger Rabbit. And once I showed them, they knew, because those steps, that's the foundation of breakdance, hip hop.
Right.
It all kind of evolved from there.
Yes.
But I loved getting to teach them the Roger Rabbit, because you need to remember these.
You need to know your
forms.
roots, man.
Yeah.
Your dancing roots. So that's sweet one. So there's sort of a history of fad dance or
Yeah.
Yes.
Fad dance, U.S. dance crazes, social dancing in our time. And then the second suite of dances, it's called Dawn Chorus, and it's going to be from the music of Andrew Bird. And this is going to be a couple of these dances I already have choreographed, but this is going to be a lot of improvisationally based work, and then we'll eventually set the work. So what I was describing to you just before. And then the last suite is called Pictures at an Exhibition. And this was originally conceived by Jen Kintner, who runs Mountain Movers here at ETSU. And the dances, you see a piece of art, it's going to be projected. So you'll see Van Gogh's Starry Night, and then that will dissolve into the dancers performing a dance that is inspired from the artwork. And it's just really beautiful stuff. I'm really excited about that. And actually, one of my students, Hannah Hash, her senior thesis will be in the Pictures at an Exhibition.
She's graduating. She's a senior going out this semester. Is she not? Yeah, I had
so
her
that's
in
one
public
of her
speaking
dances.
like forever ago.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
I never thought, it's bright to me the idea that something still would motivate movement.
I use artwork a lot personally. I know Jen does as well. I like to use sculpture as well. So I'll take a piece of sculpture on film and I'll say, okay, guys, let's see how we can embody this. Yeah, let's see if we can physicalize this piece of art as best we can. That's another way to.
I wouldn't even know what to do if you had said, Carrie, dance this sculpture. Cara, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you just that's really what was so important about the choreographic process is surrendering. Just being like, okay, I'm not going to judge this. You can see this. All right, here's what I'm going to do.
And it comes up out of you.
Yeah, and it's taking out that internal editor, that person that's in your mind always telling you what you're doing wrong.
Right, you have to constrain and control and be very appropriate and whatnot. But I mean,
you take that and you just put it away.
Dance sort of by its nature, though, puts your body in awkward positions, and you're doing it in front of an audience, and so it's like you're bending and moving and stretching in what would be considered very vulnerable positions, I think, in front of an audience. And so it's by its nature, I think, in order to be willing to dance at all, anywhere, there's that surrender component, but especially when it's an art. That's so lovely. Yeah. So the dance concert will be held at the Bud Frank Theater.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if people know this, but it's on the first floor of Gilbreth Hall.
Yeah.
Right, and it's a lovely theater.
Yeah.
I think
it's a little over 200, so it's a nice intimate space, and
when it's packed,
really
it's like
nice.
you enjoy the entire experience with another person.
Yeah.
It has been delightful to have you on with us.
Thank you, Carrie.
And so Cara Harker, who has been with us from the Division of Theater and Dance in the Department of Communication, talking to us about the spring dance concert and the choreographic process, and it's been lovely. Join us next time on Spotlight ETSU.